Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark Silent Assassin Hoffmeyer.
And I am Jay. It's Spanner time, clue it. Welcome you aboard Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. On this show, Mark and I have talked about the Deep Blue Sea trilogy scene by scene. Now looking at some Deep Blue Sea adjacent films. That's films directed by Rennie Harlin featuring sharks or aquatic action. And this is another new release, 2023 film, Dangerous Waters, featuring quite a lot of aquatic action. So what is Dangerous Waters? Well, it's directed by John Barr. He did the story as well, written by Mark Jackson. It stars Odeya Rush, Eric Dane, Ray Liotta, and wouldn't you know it, Dr. Susan McAllister, Saffron Burrows herself. And this sees Odeya Rush is Rose. She's joining her mother, Saffron Burrows, Alma, on a little vacation with Alma's new boyfriend, Derek, played by Eric Dane, who Rose is meeting for the first time. He's out on a boat. Rose hates water. They get hijacked, they get kind of attacked, and Rose gets left on her own trying to man a boat she doesn't know how to run, and hilarity ensues. So,
I didn't know where this was going, Jay.
No, same. I knew nothing about this before I went in, other than there was a boat involved and Saffron Burrows, and I was like, yes, I will review this film. We will cover this film.
Yeah, you messaged me, and then so I'd only seen maybe I don't know, the briefest of brief clips on Vudu, so I had no idea what this movie was about. I was like, hey, Saffron Burrows, boats, water, awesome.
What more do we need?
And then the more it goes, what? And then you go, what? And then what? And then whoa, yeah. And then what? It's Ray Liotta's last movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, the cinema. I learned John Barr. He wrote it. He was the camera operator on this movie, and he directed it. It's, yeah. And listen, I want to say, Saffron's really good in this movie. Burrows is really good.
It's a very different character. It's very different from Susan McAllister.
I completely bought into her as a Alma, like a 40-year-old waitress.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't
40-year-old waitress. Listen, 40-year-old waitress who has a high school age daughter, but she's really good in it. Like when she's like, there's a scene where I think she's drunk and stoned, and she looks at her daughter Rose and is like, I'm sorry, I couldn't give you everything. And then of course her daughter is just, Rose is like, no, you were great. Like that's such that time of mom thing to do. She's just fishing for a compliment while drunk. And it's, I don't know. I think she's good in it. Like she captures that sort of desperation. I like the old Mustang she drove in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
I'm used to Saffron Burrows playing more Susan McAllister type characters where she's more uptight, she's more kind of together, and that's not the case. I mean, you get the feeling that things haven't gone well in Alma's life. I mean, there's a scene later when Derek gets quite angry and shouty, and Rose goes and hides, and you kind of think, oh, there's been some abuse in the past in this household. Probably Rose knows what to do when this happens. You go and you hide and you get a weapon and defend yourself.
Yeah,
and so it kind of says a lot about what the kind of men Alma's brought home before, perhaps. Or,
not good.
Yeah. This is these two have survived together up to this point. Yeah.
And then she meets good old Eric Dane. Yes, Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, my wife is currently going through Grey's Anatomy for the first time. She's like halfway through, and she was watching me with this, and her comment was, he has not aged well. When Eric Dane came, and I think he looks fine.
Yeah, he looks great.
I mean, it's been a decade or so since he was on Grey's Anatomy. I don't know when that show actually aired. So, people get older, and they look different.
I just want to say something weird. Someone posted the other day, they're like, this is what Leonardo DiCaprio used to look like. And they've showed a picture from like 95. Yeah. You're like, this is what he looks like now. I was like, that's 28 years later.
Yeah. That's the progression of time. That's what happens.
Yeah. You get older. Like
we're not all Paul Rudd. He's
exactly.
the anomaly.
We're not all Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, and Leo loves life, man. Like that's, triple L's.
It's stranger to like the Jeremy Piven of this is what he used to look like, and this is where his hairline is now. And hang on, that's the stranger one. Like this, DiCaprio has he's aged better than most people.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, you're showing a picture of someone 25 years apart and going, boy, did they age. And you're thinking,
As
well, I mean, that's what
opposed to
happens.
what we were expecting, a Benjamin Button situation. Like this isn't.
I had a good laugh about that. But I will say, this movie, I just, there's a couple moments where it's like three movies in one. And
Yes.
I, so there's a point in this movie where they show it in the trailers, the boat gets hijacked, but then she ends up on an island. It's like, oh, okay, this is like an island movie. No. And then it goes somewhere else. And they're like, okay, this is this type of movie. Nope. Oh, so, oh, like,
Yeah. Well,
oh,
I mean, we're gonna go into spoilers, isn't it? So, like, I recommend this film. I had a great time with
yeah,
this. It's a lot
yeah.
better than I thought. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I reviewed this for Blueprint Review. Some other films I've had for them in the past that have gone straight to streaming or straight to DVD haven't been that great. We may have covered some of them on this show. This is better than those. This is a really solid film. It's a shame there's no sharks in it. There are bodies in the water at some point. They're there for some time. They've been shot, and sharks do not appear. Which is my main gripe about the film. I'd say it's great, and you should watch it.
At one point,
And
I knew so little about this movie. I went, "Are sharks coming?"
yeah,
Like and listen, there's no sharks,
no, there's no
but
animals at all.
I will. You're right, John Barr, the director. I mean, this guy's been around forever. He was like the Gaffron Bully, a movie that wrecked my soul when I watched it back in the day. Like this guy has been working in the camera department for movies for decades. So I think he's an old pro. Odeya Rush is good. I worked with her on Goosebumps.
I
She
was
didn't know
going to
me
bring
because
that up.
I was dealing with monsters on that movie, but I never met her. But it's like, oh hey, cool. I like seeing people from Goosebumps succeed. But yeah, I mean, I like her. I guess Burrows is good, man. Burrows, she felt like that kind of mom, and
Yeah.
I liked it. She's really good in it.
So I was just checking that it was the same bully that I was thinking of, and yes, bully wrecked me as well. That
I
was
can't look at Nick Stahl the same way.
yeah,
And like
that was
knowing
a
that,
movie of the month for the Lambcast. I had no idea what it was before I put it on.
oh
I just
no,
went into that blind. I was like, what the hell was this?
knowing that he and Brad Renfro, what they went through with their like addictions, and Renfro's not around anymore, and then knowing Larry
Mm,
Clark directed it,
yeah,
it's a nasty, violent, nasty
yeah. I just went into that
movie.
completely blind and did not have a good morning.
I will say, John, if you're listening to this and you want to come on and talk about your career in cinematography and working on Bully,
We'd love to
let us
have you.
know.
Yeah,
Love to have you.
yeah.
But I'm not, I don't want to be talking down on this movie either. I
No, it's
mean, this
great.
is it's like a low budget, but I also don't want to be like, oh, it's good. This is a good people behind the camera, very good actors. I mean, when you can get Saffron Burrows for this role, when you can get Eric Dane, when you bring in Ray
Ray
Liotta,
Liotta, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
Liotta was supposed to have a bigger role. He died during the filming of this, and so he only really has the one scene, and he's excellent in it. He's so creepy. It's like the things that they're talking about in that scene. It's like disinfecting a coral wound with hydrogen peroxide, but he's so seductive and creepy at the same time. Like, no, most actors could not do that. Like what Liotta's doing in that scene is incredible. And like just watching this, he has his laugh at one point, and it just made me sad that we don't get that laugh anymore. Like he has one of the best, just kind of guttural back alley laughs. Just kind of burst out of nowhere, and I love it so much when he does that little bit in here, and it's great. And it just made me sad, like he's not with us anymore. He could do more than laugh. It's not just sad we're missing the laugh, but that was the best aspect of his acting for me was his laugh.
they kept using innuendos too. She's like, well,
Yeah,
what about this button? And what about this stick? Is it hard? Is it easy? I'm like, wait, they just
well,
doubled innuendoed me.
I love they do, but he doesn't. He's not playing. She says, "Is it hard driving something this big?" And he replied, "Nothing's hard for me."
Yeah.
So he just that's a belly flop of an innuendo response.
Imagine, yeah. So you're trying to innuendo somebody, and they're like, "No, it's on autopilot." Yeah, but what about
It's
this
easy.
stick?
Yeah, you just
I
press
don't
the
even need. I don't even need to mess with it.
yeah, just click it back into place. That's fine. Yeah.
Is it hard? Nah,
Nothing is.
it's easy. Did you use hydrogen peroxide on that? But yeah, and then what happens to him? I went, oh my gosh, like this.
Well, okay, so we're going to go into spoilers. We both recommend seeing this film, so if you
Yeah,
care, we'll go spoilers from now on, I guess. Because
because how do we talk about this without spoiling it, Jay?
okay, well, Rose's reaction to everything, and she learned this from her mother, is you hit it with a spanner. And I love
Yep.
that so much. Because you mentioned Alma's car. The car is a bit dodgy, so you need to hit it with a spanner in the right place to get it to start. Great. When Rose is on her own on the boat and the boat stopped and she had to start the boat, what does she do? Hits it with a spanner.
Yep.
Doesn't work. That doesn't work, and she's like, "Well, I don't know what to do then. I'm out of ideas." And then later, when she's facing it off against Ray Liotta, what does she do? She hits him with a spanner. That's her reaction to everything is hit it with a spanner, and I love it.
And I love that they play into future events by her sneaking up on her mom, and her mom's like, "Ooh, you're a silent assassin."
Yeah.
It's she plays a trick on her mom, so she can be kind of a ninja. And also the gun shooting, that scene, and she
Yeah, yeah.
trains. So I gotta say, Jay, more movies need these kind of developments
More
because
movies need to have a third act that's Die Hard on a boat that you're
yeah,
not expecting at all.
because yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it is. So I thought this was gonna be like a chamber thriller,
Yeah.
right? Like just three people on a boat. One's crazy. Maybe they get taken over. Maybe this is like that Nick Cage Trespass movie with Ben Mendelsohn and Nicole Kidman.
Sure.
That's soul crushing. And then Cam Gigante shows up, and you're like, oh hey, that guy. But it gets there, and then when it
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
there,
Because they're not taken over. She's stranded. It becomes like a survival. How's she going to cope on her own film? And then it turns into, oh no, wait, Eric Dane's still around. But they don't really trust each other, and he's got these convenient photos of the guys that attacked them. And so it becomes this like there's two like these two people face against each other. One can't really, one's got a broken arm. One has no idea how to run a boat. And then, like you said, it's an island film. They're stuck on an island for a little bit, and then she's on the water again on her own. And then it's Die Hard on a boat. There's so much going on here, and he falls off a cliff in a fantastic cliff dive.
oh man, but okay, but there's no reason for him to fall off the cliff. So I'm watching this movie, and he's shooting at Odeya Rush, right?
Yelling,
And then
"Sweetie, sweetie!"
and then he just slips on the tree.
Uh,
He wasn't even holding on to the tree.
He was holding on to like a vine on the tree,
Yeah,
and the vine kind of snaps or something. But it's not really. There's no real reason for it to have done so.
he falls about 100 feet.
It's the ladle in Jurassic Park that just kind of turns and falls off on its own. Is what happens here. The vine just kind of decides, "Hey, I'm done."
Ah! And then his head hits a rock.
He goes through so much. He he's been shot in the shoulder. Uh, he then has to dive into the water to drag Rose and out of onto the land. They then have a little fight where she gets away. He then falls off a cliff, then throws a rock at his head, not a small rock, a decent sized rock at his head from not far away, and he still survives. It's him. I feel like in the original draft, maybe he was supposed to be dead and not come back. It was just supposed to be Rose versus the captain at the end. I think
Oh,
that's my theory. Because like he died.
yeah.
Eric Dane
No,
died.
no, he's dead. His head hit a rock from about
Yeah,
100 feet.
he fell onto a rock and then had another rock thrown at the head. Like he should not be up and around, walking around with just a small bandage at the end of the film. That's
Later on, he
comical.
just has like a little butterfly bandage on his head. He's like, I'm
just
fine. I'm
just a
fine.
little cartoon could bump, and
Yeah.
that's it.
But when he fell off the cliff, I went, I need to rewind that. But I couldn't find the remote. So I reminded myself to go back and watch it later and rewind it just so I could watch him fall off that cliff. Because it's not provoked. I've
No.
never seen that in a movie, Jay. I have never seen in a film where a guy is shooting at somebody and then they just go, whoa, and fall off a mountain. Like no pushing, no slipping. Like there's no like animals or the rock doesn't give way beneath him.
No, he just falls. Yeah, he's there and then he's down here.
His head falls on a rock. Okay,
Ah,
can we get there for the battle scene on the boat?
sure. Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. We can. Yeah, let's
Oh
go.
no, no. All
Let's
right,
go.
what
No,
else? I mean, if you want to talk about something else, we can.
no, no. Let's get there. Let's get there. What are your thoughts?
Well, okay. First, I want to say, I guess I like the buildup of this movie. Like I like how he teaches her knots, and then later on he ties a knot around her arms. I like the scene where she has to turn the TV up while her mom and the dude are on the deck. Like that's so
Yeah.
Like it's.
Did they get
I feel like
engaged? Is that what? Because he's like on one knee and she sees from
yeah.
there, and then they have champagne, but it's never confirmed.
I
And
didn't even know your mom. She was just a hot chick.
yeah.
And then I figured having
Then I
you on
saw
the
you
boat,
and thought, oh, you're hot too. Oh my god, this guy.
two hot
It's
chicks.
so creepy.
But I guess he visited her for years in a diner.
Is it for
And then,
years? Because he says he gave her the necklace years ago, but then he says I didn't do that.
oh
So
yeah,
and then because Alma says they've only been dating for a couple of like 6 weeks, I think.
yeah, yeah,
So
something like that.
I think the general plot is Eric Dane. He's screwed over. He used to be a cop. He has this completely unwarranted uh, exposition dump monologue on the island. Like, I used to be a cop. I didn't get rich, so I decided to become a dirty cop, which no one has ever said. No one's ever said the phrase, "I decided to become a dirty cop." That's not that's not real world dialogue. Um, and then he decided the people that he was being dirty cop with, he could screw them over and make money off of them as well. So okay, fine. But then they found out, and he's trying to just get away on his boat, and so he found this waitress, Saffron Burrows, hooked up with her, and they're going to sail away into the sunset. But then she tagged along with her 20-year-old daughter, who she was never going to leave. Surely, she must have discussed like Rose existing, and she's never just going to walk out on her daughter. I don't know.
Whoa.
That's,
Yeah, because he wasn't coming back.
no, the whole plan was, yeah, and then she showed up too, and he was annoyed, and then he saw her, and he was less annoyed.
Hey, two hot chicks.
Yeah, they'd have to be a mother and daughter. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, calm down, man.
Yeah, so that was his plan. I'm just going to take this waitress
Yeah,
and her daughter and just sail away.
but then they got found by the captain's men. Which
He went into the
how?
same waters where they are.
Yeah, that seems foolish. They
This- yeah,
there's a lot of ocean out there. Just go a different direction.
I really do believe this movie though, I think was just the point of this movie was to get you to that boat with the captain. I think. Let's get to the boat.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but they like Saffron Burrows loses the phone, her daughter's phone, so then there's no phones anymore.
And then there's a fire on the boat, which fries all of the radios and everything. So there's nothing works. They're just kind of on this dead boat, basically.
for a second I thought it was going to become Adrift,
Yeah,
which is her on the boat surviving. So when it
I mean, it was for this is one of the 12 films in this film.
yeah.
It's-
Yes, okay, gets the island. But you know, in my notes, I have he falls off the cliff and smushes. That's one of my notes.
but survives somehow.
There's a lot of questions about Eric Dane's character in this. Not very
Yeah.
smart.
My main question is, why does she ever trust him at any point ever after finding the photo of him with the guys who attacked the boat? Because she's like, when he's like, let me show you what knots you should have tied on me. Here, put your hands out, let me tie, and then he just ties her up. Like, why did you do that? Why did you let him do
Yeah,
that? You
because
have a
it's
gun.
not really important though, because she gets out of those ropes quite quickly.
Right, so what was the point? Why?
Um, it's a good question.
Because they don't even show her getting out of them with the marlin spike that he gives her, the knot untie, which then, as soon as that was handed over to her, I turned to my wife and like, that's going to be buried in someone's head later in this film. And what do you know? It gets buried in her chest. But yeah, that's right sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, it gets buried in someone.
Yeah, it's
and that
Chekhov's
works.
marlin spike.
But I mean, listen, I can see why this movie got greenlit, though. I mean, it's a nice, like, they're sex traders get murdered
Sure, yeah.
in like Under Siege fashion. So that was interesting. They want a sequel out of this. They said they set up seeds for a sequel. Odeya Rush said that.
Okay. I mean, I could see her going on and doing another adventure. Sure.
We know she's alive in the beginning of the movie, so it's not a spoiler. So she said she wants to join the CIA.
Okay. Yeah.
And go on more missions because she's like, I don't have a house. But I do like
Yeah.
what that guy said. That was a good line. He's like, You have a future. That's something. You fought for it. Like that was a good line.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you any money, but you have a future. Good luck. Best luck. See ya. You fought for it. Good luck. But yeah, so what? Dangerous skies next, or dangerous
Oh,
tunnels? Dangerous tunnels.
dangerous skies, dangerous tunnels. Both was a trilogy.
Dangerous sands.
Make them all. What other things are dangerous sand, dangerous air, dangerous tunnels,
dangerous cliffs,
dangerous roads,
dangerous roads, dangerous clouds.
dangerous. There's some. Wait, are they? She attacking like goblins, like Shadow in the Cloud?
Yeah, absolutely. She's gonna fall out of a plane and get exploded back into that plane.
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful shot. It's the best shot this decade.
I think so. When she front kicks, people are like, "That movie's silly." I'm like,
No.
yeah. Let's team up Chloe Grace Moretz and Odeya Rush, and Odeya Rush's, no offense, her stunt double,
Sure,
and then
yeah.
we'll have a fun movie. I don't think she. So I read as many interviews as I could about this movie. It's so brand new. She did train in LA for stunts, but when whatever kicks off and then her stunt double jumps in, her stunt double's a lot bigger than she is. So it was very, but I'm not in an ironic way. Like it just put a smile on my face that the movie went there. I was so happy to see that you gave this 3 stars.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
What are your favorite
Alexia
moments?
Garcia was the stunt actor.
Got it.
Just to give us some credit. I mean, all of the fights in that final act. Like, there's a kitchen fight.
Yeah, there is.
They don't use any kitchen equipment. They use a countertop. And other than that, it's like strangling the lady with her own shirt. I wanted a bit more. Kitchen equipment in fights is what we live for, and that's not really. We don't see a lot of that, but still, there's a kitchen fight on a boat. So tick.
Yeah. As soon as that kitchen fight, well, okay, so it's more like a dining room. So there's a kitchen fight, and then they go into like the little dining room, but there's still a microwave, so it's still technically a kitchen.
Yes, in that respect, my office at work is a kitchen because we have a microwave and a fridge.
Well, no, that's
for sure.
So Too Fast, Too Forever guys always wonder. They're like, what is
what's a vehicle?
Yeah, what's a vehicle? So, if a microwave and some food is in a room, does that make it a kitchen?
Does a microwave make a kitchen? If you bring a microwave into a car, is that car now a kitchen? If you can somehow use the microwave, sure, it's a moving kitchen. It's now an RV.
Wow. You know what would be the best? If you put a microwave in a bathroom inside an RV. So then you have a simultaneous kitchen bathroom RV fight.
That is a vehicle. Yeah.
It'd be like nonstop the bathroom fight and that, but an RV.
The only vehicle Liam Neeson hasn't had an action film in yet, an RV. Has he? No, he's done planes, he's done trains, he's done ice road trucker, he's done a snowmobile.
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Death sentence.
That already exists. Are we there yet? Are we done yet? The third in those films were they've replaced Ice Cube in those films.
Yeah, you know what happened
with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, so Ice Cube took over for Vin Diesel in Triple X, so we could do like the Are We There Yet universe.
Okay,
but this one's an RV.
RV, we there yet?
Pull over, we got to pump for gas. Hurry. There's no time. Unleaded.
We're wasting daylight.
Unleaded. Like there's a scene where he has to keep quiet, but the things at the gas pump make noise. It's like what? There's a place near me. It's a Kroger. It's a shopping center, and they have gas. And so you go put your phone number in because it's part of your customer rewards. But every number is like beep, beep. It's really loud. So I was like, if I ever need to fill up my gas, I'm not going to plug my number in. But like all the numbers are going to make it's going to make a lot of noise. So if zombies are around and I'm filling gas, I'm dead. So I want to see Liam Neeson put his customer care number in like beep, beep, beep.
Never use that place when the Quiet Place aliens attack.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
Just hurry, hurry. There's no time. Get in the RV. I
So
didn't
how
do it.
so how do you feel about films opening with the lead it being interviewed? They're clearly in a state of disrepair. It's clearly the end of the story, and you have the line like, "Let's go back to the beginning," and then we get the whole film played out that way. How do you feel about that kind of book ending?
I mean, uh, there's two ways you could go with it, right? One's like that, great, she's alive, so I know the ending. The other one is she's all beat the heck. So like, oh, she gets beat the heck and survives. I want to see how this happens. I kind of didn't feel about either way because I thought maybe I didn't know this movie was going to where it was. So I thought maybe she survived an island or maybe a little boat crash. And then she was just talking to authorities because of the boat crashing. And she can't explain the death of Eric Dane. I didn't know it was going to go aboard a tanker with Ray Liotta. So
She takes out half a dozen people.
yeah, so there's still a lot of surprises in there that it doesn't bother me. And they also had to add it in because that scene wasn't in there originally, and they just wanted to get to the action faster. So they chucked that in the beginning to have people be like, "Oh, action's
Okay.
going to happen." So then they put up with all the character work in the beginning.
I guess yeah, there is a lot to get through if you don't know what this could just be a kind of a drama. This like new family is all going on a boat together, and it's this 6 days, 7 nights kind of thing. Uh,
Yeah. So
uh,
yeah, no action for 20, 30 minutes. So the director said they had to toss it in to make people be like, "Oh, okay."
okay, I get it then. That's fine. That's fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, listen, like nobody does that. Like that movie Nobody
Oh
when
yeah,
he's smoking in the beginning, but he
yes,
has like a cat
he
and
killed
a
a cat.
painting.
Yeah,
And you're like, this is a story I want to hear. Like, so there's ways to handle it and there's ways to not handle it. And I
I know.
think this one was necessary for the story.
Nobody's great. I love nobody.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. What a movie. But yeah, I mean, they lay enough kernels with her being a silent assassin. I don't know. It's just, I love that the captain are like, there's no, he's evil. But I mean, there's people like that. So they are evil.
Yeah, and like he's such a bad guy. Like when we're first told he likes girls, he likes little girls. Okay, let's kill this guy now. We have to wait like half an hour to do it, but it's great. He gets taken out with a spanner.
He do, I, so I thought he was going to turn around and like I thought he was going to turn around. There's going to be a fight, but instead she
No.
just pummels him
Yeah,
to
he's
death,
out. Yeah,
which would happen. I mean, if someone hit you that many times on the head with a wrench,
it's a big one. Yeah, it's a sizable spanner. Yeah.
and he didn't duck, dive, dip, dodge, or duck it either.
I sorry. After watching this film, my wife and I had a conversation about dodgeball where that was referenced. So like it's just so random.
Well, listen, if someone gets hit with a wrench, that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I like that.
But
Everyone just knows collectively. You dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. That's just something in the collective consciousness.
and
It's
then when she starts headshotting mercenaries, Jay,
one shot headshotting, just like from the hip kind of thing.
I, you know, there's so I was reading some of the reviews for this, and people are like, "Oh, it's too ludicrous. It lost me." And then there are other reviews.
They've
You can tell which
established she
way I
has
lean.
shooting practice.
And then and then there's other reviews that are just like, "Yes, this thing." It, so few movies surprise, and this one genuinely
Yeah.
surprised me.
So we're very much in the latter camp of the yes, because they set up that she's had shooting practice. They're
Mm-hmm.
shooting earlier. There's a whole conversation about it. Um,
And she's trained.
uh,
Who knows? Maybe she does. Maybe she trained. She's an MMA trainer. Like maybe she knows how to fight. So they lay down all the groundwork for it, and then they have a kitchen fight near a microwave in a galley,
yeah, and she
and she
takes out
saves
a
girls'
bunch of people.
lives,
She does.
and she kills people with lead pipes. And there's serious headbutts. That dude headbutts the daylights out of her.
Eric Dane kicks her down some stairs. So like hard metal stairs.
Yeah, that killed Vinnie Jones in Escape Plan. Didn't even kill her.
Sure.
Stallone kicks him down some stairs.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Like,
that's Stallone. That's not Eric. I think Eric Dane kicking Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones would survive that. But
good point.
Stallone kicking Odeya Rush down. She might not survive that.
But
So
like,
it's
I know
different.
you, Jay. This is everything you love in a fight: nut shots, headbutts,
Falling downstairs, spanners.
falling downstairs,
Yeah,
shirt choking.
yeah, it's great.
It's yeah, I. But okay, so in my notes, Jay, I wrote in all caps. I wrote Eric Dane survived. LOL.
I have the same. I go like, Derek's alive? Question mark.
And then he backhand slaps her.
He backhand slaps the gun away. And she's about to shoot him, and he just whacks the gun because it just flies off.
And I love how he looks into the one spot and then she shoots him in the face with steam and then just takes him out.
Yeah, that was a nice moment. Nice
But
little trap she'd set.
why not go there, Jay? Like, why not have fun? Like, why? Like, just have. Who cares? Like, I feel like we've watched movies with who. It's great. I love it. She can shoot. She can fight. She kills people. She headshots them. She gets. Eric Dane's an immortal.
I mean, he has some questionable decisions. Yeah, like you said earlier, he's an idiot. I agree. Because when they're on the island and he's being like super creepy and it's clear he's a bad guy, and Rose is just kind of confused, and his response is, "I have to kill you, Rose. Like, I don't just kill her. Don't signpost it. Just do it. Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Why are you telling her?"
Yeah, and then the whole knot scene, you're like, oh my gosh, this is. But you know what though?
People are dumb.
But
They're
like,
dumb
she's
people.
never been. So she's really. When you've never been in these situations before, no, you never let people tie your hands together.
No. Especially somebody who, like 20 minutes earlier, you saw a need to tie their hands together and did a bad job. And they're
yeah.
friends with people who killed your mother.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
The scene when she's trying to get the Saffron Burrows' body onto her little life raft,
Oh
and it
yeah.
goes underwater and she can't hold it, and it's a Titanic parallel of someone called Rose having to let go of somebody in the water. It's just heartbreaking, and she has to just go in the fetal position in the little life raft for a while because she wants to give her mum a proper burial, and she just sank in the water. It's it's a real touching moment.
I just feel bad. You're right about that relationship. She runs and hides, and she knows how to protect herself, but she still loves her mom. Like I think it's kind of the mom is. She kind of protects the mom. The mom is the one who kind of lives this. You know what I mean? Like she's more protective
Yeah,
of her mom than her mom is of her daughter. I
yeah.
would say.
Rose has probably seen her mum, uh, like not be very happy for a while. So she seems to be happy with Derek. So she's got that internal conflict of she's happy, but I don't like this guy. So I'm happy for her that she's happy with him, but does it have to be him? Like there's some conflict going there
I
because there's those just strangers at the dock who are talking to her who are clearly bad news as well. And Rose is like, "See, options are still open." Like, really, you want these guys? He's like hopeless fishermen who are just ogling your mother. No,
yeah, I was like, are these the guys who came by later, but they weren't? But yeah,
no,
they were just
it's
hitting on
just
the burrows,
just hanging out at the dock. Yeah,
waiting for single moms to come by and hang out. But yeah, the dropping of the body and so Odeya Rush, she was really good in a movie called Cha Cha Real Smooth. Like she's been in some
yes, she
cool.
is. Yes, that's a great film.
Yeah, she's really good in that, and I like that she's out here making action. Like I like that, like the Princess with Joey King and her. Like I want more of these action movies. I
I
dig this.
watched Crazy Stupid Love the other day, and it kind of broke me that Joey King is the little girl in Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, geez,
And
yeah, she's
yeah,
been around forever.
I was just like, what? Wait, what the hell? No, oh, I'm old.
I feel that every day when I talk to my students, Jay.
Fair enough.
One of my students was like, "Yeah, back in the day." I'm like, "Don't say 2005." Yeah, but that's like almost 20 years ago, so that is back in the day.
I work with someone who refers to the old Star Wars films as being the prequels. And it's like, well, no, there are older ones, and they're not even old. Old films came before Star Wars.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
rule. Jaws was the first like modern film. Everything before Jaws is old. Jaws,
but yeah, you know
and
what?
Jaws came
That's
out
the rule.
22 years before I was born. So
Yeah, if you say
no,
yeah, if
12
you're gonna
years.
call a movie old, it has to be from before 75.
Yeah, that's the law. I feel like it's just the rule.
Well, one good news about this movie is, the SAG interim agreement, they did everything right for it, so the people are able to be interviewed for this movie. So at least everyone was paid. Jay,
That's awesome.
how does
What's
that
not
make you
awesome
feel?
is Odeya Rush was born the same year that Tonek came out. I'm just going to click off of her IMDb page because it's making me sad. I'm very happy about that. I'm happy that for all projects to pay their actors, like, and pay their writers, as everything should. Uh, if people work hard, pay them.
I do think they're in trouble though, because Netflix. Like, I understand why writers get paid, but if you take Law and Order and you put it on Netflix, there's so many day players who are SAG on that. So then, like, we're talking thousands who have lines. So how do you even gauge how that money trickles down to the day players on one episode of a show? Like, that's
You can cut. I mean, you can absolutely see where the studios are coming from, and like we could just make people up. And it's so much cheaper because they have a history of not paying special effects to teams enough anyway. So let's just have them do more and pay them the same to do more and pay everyone else less. Like, but don't do that.
yeah, animators just get screwed on so many movies. And listen, but like everyone's like, oh, there's fake crowds in movies. But when I was on Hunger Games 2, they gave me 20 people. I put them in front of a green screen all day. I had them clap and boo and cheer. And those were the thousands of people in the stands in the Hunger Games. Like, VFX crowds have always happened. I mean, like, very rarely do you fill up 80,000 people.
Even in animated films, like in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, there's a small crowd they just duplicate a bunch of times. It's because it's easier. But
yeah,
where'd you draw the line? I guess.
But I guess if you use them just for that movie and then you don't put them in 18,000 other things, I guess the one good thing with my crowd is they're all dressed up like people from the Capitol. If you have people in plain clothes and then you just kept adding them to scenes. You know what? If they're like, Mark, come here for 2 days and just do every type of like dance and singing and cheering and clapping and booing, I would do it. Because then for like the next 2 decades, I would just see me in movies just doing weird cheers or booing. That might be fun.
But would you want to just get paid for that day of work?
I'd scab, sure.
Okay.
Because why would they pay me? Like what? I don't know.
I look at it the other way. I work for an engineering company. I've designed products that have gone out there and been sold. If I stop working for this company, I will stop. I won't get any like residuals from those products I've designed that keep them being sold. I feel like I should. I should get some kind of a cut on everything that I've designed that is being sold in perpetuity. They should keep on paying me, whether I work there or not.
You did something good and you created something. I just danced in front of a green screen. But I get it. Like I totally understand. It's not ethical, but yeah.
Yeah, because there's people making a living doing this.
It's just tough with all these streaming services, and then a show hits. Like, how do you pay them?
Just figure out in the contract. I guess they get a fraction of a percent.
Pay the writers.
Definitely.
The writers write it.
Yeah,
obviously. Or do they?
They do. The writers definitely. Yeah, they definitely do. If they don't, they're not the writers. So
yeah, I got credited for Dangerous Mind. No, did you write it? No, Beautiful Mind. No.
Then you're not the writer. Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah. All right, Dangerous Waters. This one's more fun than Black Demon.
It's Sonia Wahi was Odeya Rush's stunt double.
Oh, okay.
Alexi Garcia was the lady that she was fighting.
Oh yeah, I looked her up. She's henchwoman Roberta.
Yes. Does not survive the film.
Hey, but she gets a name.
She does. Her name Roberta is said at one point. Someone said, "Hey, where's Roberta?" Or like, "Roberta, get the gun," or something. She's named on screen.
Sounds like a country song. Roberta, get the gun. But
sure.
But no, okay. So Eric Dane comes back. She has to kill him. I don't know. It's just, and also Odeya Rush is like, I didn't want to make just a survival movie. I wanted to make a movie where, like, she wrote, I feel like it's an important thing to show, and it's also an important thing to make it my character's motivation to keep going to save those women. She's like, I think that's more important than rather just a movie about survival. So she wanted to help save ladies and like put eyes on that rather than just living in a boat
And it
eating
makes it a
seagulls.
more exciting film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here for it. Great. Well, that's we went through my notes. You had a draft idea, didn't you?
Yeah, it was just action scenes on boats.
Okay. You go first.
Deep Rising.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, Jay.
No, fine.
I mean, listen, jet skis on a cruise liner?
Yeah.
Can't
Well,
go
I
wrong.
didn't even shortlist it. I went for Spider-Man: Homecoming, the ferry breaking in half.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's a good one.
I like
You
that
know, I
one.
saw that thing could get built.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
That's.
stood by it as they welded it together, and I watched it on the set of Pinewood.
I feel like Homecoming's been like forgotten as a new. I love Homecoming. It's one of my favorite MCU films.
I mean, it's just
Uh,
chill, right? It's
yeah.
just it's just a good movie, if that makes
But there's
sense.
like 5 huge action sequences in it.
Yeah.
But it's just like a fun, like high school film.
Well, I mean, like when I think about that movie, I just think about how good Zendaya and Holland and Ned are, and how good
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei is, and
Michael
I
Keaton.
think about the cab scene. Like those
Yeah.
are what I think about, or like him alone just talking to himself because the kid's so likable. I never think
Yeah.
about the action or Bokeem Woodbine, Logan Marshall
Hell
Green.
yes.
What the hell?
Donald Glover's in there for we got a
Donald
cameo.
Glover.
Yeah.
Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. A tinkerer.
All right, I'll take Face Off for my number 2.
Okay, I'm going to take Titanic.
Well,
Specifically when the chase sequence when they're being chased by Cal. With the diamond.
Billy Zane.
In the coat. With the coat on her. Billy Zane is a beautiful thing in that film.
Listen to your man Billy Zane.
Yeah, he should have been nominated for an Oscar that year.
I am going to take Cutthroat Island
Of course.
because that's a beautiful boat fight.
It is, yeah. Another beautiful boat fight is Under Siege.
Oh yeah, we can't
Seagal
leave
and
that
Tommy
one
Lee
out.
Jones.
Yeah,
Knife versus leather jacket.
it's the shortest final fight ever.
Yep.
Like, I got some data that I'm working on right now, and I don't want to give it away, but you're gonna laugh about. It's about. I'm not gonna say it, but it's about final fights in movies, and there's some data I figured out about our homeboy Steven Seagal that just makes me very happy. Okay, so more boat fights. Oh gosh. There's so many good ones. Okay, Battleship. When the robots get on there and there's a big old fight. Because that's a lot of fighting on a boat.
That's one I haven't seen. I'll have to cover that one day. I've never seen Battleship.
It's fun. I love it. I don't
Okay.
care. It's got the Neesons in it. Hurry, there's no time. Get to the RV.
It's a much less of a boat film, but Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where they're in Venice and the guy's on the boat and it's getting chopped up by the big propeller. That's a nice little sequence.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and now I'm last, huh?
I know. This is your fifth. I've got my fifth to go.
Okay, so I got one more left.
Yep.
Okay, and it has to be fisticuffs on a boat. Like there's good James Bond boat fights.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There's
You will never pick mine. Mine has one of your favorite actors in it, and you'll never pick it.
what are you doing? Like Muppet Treasure Island?
You have to wait and see.
Wait, it has one of my favorite actors.
I think, or an actor that you really like. I think
It was like Curdy Russ. Like there's no fights in Captain Ron.
I haven't seen Captain Ron.
Hey, Swab.
It's on the list. We'll do it one day.
Okay. Oh man. Why am I? Let's see. No, I'm gonna leave the pirates. Oh, man, Master and Commander. Really good boat fights on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hunt for Red October has a submarine fight. Ghost ship. They fight a ghost on it. Into the Blue. I don't know. I'll take Hard Rain. I'll take Master and Commander because I love that movie.
Yeah. Kung Fu Panda 2. I was pick. with Jean-Claude Van Damme as Master Craft.
Oh, that's amazing.
And Dennis Haysbert. That's Grayson, I think. But yeah, there's a big boat fight sequence on there. It's a rescue mission and a boat fight, and everyone shows up and kicks some butt. That's a fun band.
Oh, I love it. So we have Deep Rising, Face Off, Cutthroat Island, Battleship, Master and Commander, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Titanic, Under Siege, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and Kung Fu Panda 2.
Yep.
Oh. Two hot chicks, sweet.
How is Dangerous Waters like Deep Blue Sea? I almost forgot.
Oh wow!
I've got a little list. Saffron Burrows is in it, celebrating a birthday and then dying the next day. Someone handles a wrench. There's a small boat with a small party on it. Saffron Burrows is knocked in the water off of that boat. There's an incoming storm. Checking a digital storm map at one point. There's a sudden early death scene. I didn't see Saffron Burrows dying that early. Water is leaking in. There's dressing a wound. There's a kitchen fight, and a fire extinguisher is used during an escape. In this case, it's used to hit a guy in the head rather than drown a shark. But hey, it's used. And how deep and how blue is Dangerous Waters? Mark, as you know, Deep Blue Sea is 14.5 meters deep, 31% blue. Do you think Dangerous Waters is deeper and or bluer than Deep Blue Sea?
No, it's less deep and less blue.
You are correct. It is definitely less deep because there's only momentarily under the water for when Odeya Rush dives in to get to the lifeboat. And there's enough stuff on land and up higher than this ends up being like 1.09 meters up in the air on average. And it's fairly blue for the first third, but when they're on the island, it's like pitch black for a long time, and then they're on the interior of a boat. The top is blue, but it doesn't take up a lot of the screen. So 23.2% blue is what's up being. So this film is slightly higher than Mindhunters, slightly lower than Tremors in the depthness, and bluer than Airport 77, less blue than Pirates of the Caribbean, Man's Chest.
Wow. And we never mentioned Primal for boat fights.
We didn't. Because that's not a very good film.
No, it's not. It's not. This one's more fun.
It is much more fun, yes. Primal could have been so much better. Nick Cage, animals on a boat. Like criminals.
And a serial killer.
It could have been so much better. So that's Dangerous Waters. Thank you very much to Signature for sending me a copy. You can stream it most places. Mark, what have you got to plug?
Yes, Movie Stones of Flakes. And then, this is just my writing. Check out the podcast.
Excellent. Listeners, you can find this podcast on social media everywhere at Deep Blue Sea Pod. Email us deepblueseapod@gmail.com if you have any requests or comments or reviews or anything, then let us know. Next week will be the conclusion of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Dead Men Tell No Tales / Salazar's Revenge. Nick Rehak's back. We'll be finishing that series next week. So come back then. But as for this week, as for Dangerous Waters, I've been Jake Lurt.
And I'm Mark Hoffmeyer.
And we'll Deep Blue see you next week.